Another hectic day of price rises is behind us, and tonight there are going to be quite a few substantial price rises and falls that you guys need to keep track of. So welcome back to the Fantasy Football Fix YouTube channel. My name's FPL Phillips, or Eddie, and you're probably sick of seeing my face for the second day in a row, but unfortunately you're going to have to deal with another few minutes of me as I bring you all the latest updates in the transfer world. So without further ado, let's jump into it, help you improve your squad value at this really important time when we're looking to bring in some of the most essential players of the season, and let me help you price change your way to the top 10k. And we're starting off with the best Chilean footballer in the world, and it's Heung-min Son, who didn't actually manage to grab a return in Spurs' second 1-0 victory of the season over Wolves last weekend. Despite not scoring or assisting, Son did manage to rack up a few more shots, with total for the season now standing at 7 shots, with 2 on target and 1 goal. And if we look to the shot map to the left of me, we can see that 4 of those shots, including his goal, actually came from outside the box. Heung-min has an XG of 0.28 per 90 minutes, which isn't too bad at all, but it will be heavily impacted, I reckon, by Kane's return, hopefully in a positive way. The duo set the record for goal combinations last season with 14, which is the most any Premier League pair have ever got since Shearer and Sutton did it back in the 94-95 season with 13 themselves. So with Kane back, Son could be massively improved, and I'm sure Kane will be setting him up for quite a few goals this season, especially with their very nice 2 fixtures coming up next. And Son's rising at 0.3% per hour and is currently sat under the 100% threshold at 97.8%, but we're still predicting him just about to rise tonight, but this could be tomorrow. The Spurs man has a projected points total of 8.4 across those next 2 fixtures, which isn't bad at all, but it's actually the 7th amongst midfielders. So with Kane back, and if you're looking to bring in Heung-min Son, you can do it tonight, or you could probably wait till tomorrow, but he's definitely probably the best asset, I would say, out of the Spurs line to go for, if you're not willing to bring in Harry Kane, because it's very difficult to find those funds up front. As this is a transfer that could come down to the deadline as well, it's important that you get downloaded the app. You can use it for absolutely free with the price changes, or head over to the website where you can keep up to date with all the latest price changes to the very last second or hour when it makes all the difference. Moving on to our second player of today, and it's going to be none other than Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's looking a very popular option at the moment in FPL after now revealing himself on penalties. He grabbed his second goal in 2 games at the weekend, with a total of 9 shots now registered for the Englishman, with a total of 6 on target. His XG per 90 is currently looking at 1.04, which is a fantastic score, and expected FPL points per game of 7.36. As mentioned, he's also now seems to be the main penalty taker for Everton, taking that responsibility from Richarlison, and it's going to add even more to his FPL appeal. There have been 36,000 transfers in alone today for Calvert-Lewin, and he's actually passed the 100% threshold at 101.6% and set to rise tonight. DCL has 21.0 projected points over the next 5 game weeks, which is 6th amongst all forwards in the game, so not too bad at all. However, it's key that Danny Ings this week faces a Brentford side and actually has a higher projected score of 5.4 this game week to Calvert-Lewin's 4.0. If we compare the two on their shot maps, however, they look from very similar positions. However, Calvert-Lewin simply just had a lot more of them so far this year. With Aston Villa's very kind fixture run, however, ending after this week's fixture against Brentford, it looks like a time to hop off Danny Ings, as he'll probably be getting even less shots when he faces the tougher teams. Nonetheless, holding off a transfer for this week could be the right thing to do for Danny Ings, but if you're within 0.1 of getting Calvert-Lewin in, then maybe you just need to bite the bullet and do it this week to make sure you can make the move for the long-term benefit. And last but not least, we're going to be touching on the English right wing back of Chelsea, and that is of course Reece James, who managed to bag himself a fantastic goal and an assist in his first start of the season against Arsenal. Reece James put in a fantastic display and topped the XG chart amongst defenders for game week 2 with a total of 0.4. At the moment, he's sat at a total of 3.19 shots per 90 minutes, with 0.8 shots on target per 90, which for a defender seems absolutely incredible. However, it's not only in the shot department where he's succeeding in scoring goals, but also creatively too, where Reece James has had 3.19 attempted assists per 92, so the exact same value as his shots per 90. And if we compare the statistics so far of Reece James and Luke Shaw across the first 2 game weeks, there's really no comparison there. And Luke Shaw was owned by over 50% of players in the game at the start of the season, being the most popular defender, and just look at how Reece James has wiped the floor with him so far. The Chelsea youngster's rising at 0.8% per hour and has passed the threshold, comfortably sat at 104.9%, and so is pretty much set to rise tonight. The one little hiccup with James is he actually nailed on as a fullback? We know that Tuchel has implemented some rotation to his side, but it's always key to keep up with the predicted lineups. I know they don't help as much sometimes with Man City and Chelsea, those type of teams, but you can head over to the Fantasy Football Fix website to see all the predicted lineups there. With Chelsea facing Liverpool this week too, it might not be the right week to bring him in, but we know under Tuchel, Chelsea can actually keep a clean sheet against any defence, and they did so against Liverpool last year. As always, please remember that price changes are not an exact science and they can alter very quickly within the space of minutes. You can track expected player price changes over at the fantasyfootballfix.com website or download the free app where, as you can turn on notifications, it's really helpful. You can get notifications from players in your team, players on your watch list, all those kind of settings that you can alter. You can find links to all this stuff in the description, and you can also subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and make sure to like the video if you have enjoyed, turning notifications on too so you don't miss a future price change video. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you tomorrow for the next in our series of price change videos.